Your wallet didn't have a leak. It has a trap door, and someone installed it on purpose. Right now, as you watch this, money is leaving your account through channels so small you'd need a microscope to see them. Not a big purchase, not a reckless decision, just a tap here, a notification there, a one click that took less effort than blinking. And here's the part that should keep you up at night. Your brain isn't fighting it, it's helping it happen. Because here's something almost nobody in the personal finance world will actually say out loud: your daily spending habits aren't a discipline problem. They're a biology problem. And until you understand what's running under the hood of every financial decision you make, every budget you try, every "I'll start saving Monday" you've ever said, none of it will stick. So let's talk about what's really going on. Somewhere between 50,000 and 200,000 years ago, your ancestors woke up every morning with one mission: survive today. Not plan for next year, not build a retirement account. Survive today. That brain, the one wired to grab the berry now, chase the animal now, secure the resource now, that's the same brain sitting in your skull right now. Evolutionarily speaking, it got a few upgrades. Emotionally speaking, it's still wearing animal skins. And the problem isn't that this brain is stupid. The problem is that it's brilliant, just at the wrong game. When your ancient brain sees a flash sale, it doesn't think, "Do I need this?" It screams scarcity, opportunity. Now, that's not weakness. That's a survival system that kept your great-great-grandmother alive through a harsh winter. The system worked perfectly for about 200,000 years. Then came the smartphone, and somebody, somewhere, figured out exactly how to turn your survival instincts against your bank account. This is where it gets specific, because this isn't abstract. This is happening in the exact moments you think you're just living your day. Let's start with what researchers call the pain of paying. When you hand someone cash, physical bills, paper you can feel, there's a measurable discomfort response in the brain. Studies using brain scans have shown that handing over cash activates regions associated with physical pain. Your brain registers it as a small loss. That friction, that tiny discomfort, it's actually your built-in spending regulator. It's the thing that makes you pause even for half a second and ask, "Is this worth it?" Digital payment systems removed that friction on purpose. Tap to pay, one-click checkout, saved card, Apple Pay. The process was designed intentionally by teams of behavioral scientists to eliminate every micro moment of hesitation between "I want this" and "I bought this." They didn't just make it easier. They surgically removed the only speed bump your brain had. And when that speed bump disappears, you don't spend a little more. Research shows people spend significantly more when paying digitally versus cash, not because they plan to, but because the feeling of loss never registered. Your ancient brain needed friction to make good decisions. The digital economy eliminated friction as a feature. Now here's where it gets layered, because there's a second mechanism running at the same time, and it's even sneakier. Every time you complete a digital purchase, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine, same chemical associated with reward, pleasure, motivation. The notification sound, the green checkmark, the order confirmed screen. These were designed to feel like small victories. And your brain, your ancient, reward-seeking, cave-dwelling brain, learns fast. It starts to associate the act of spending with a good feeling. Not the product, not the value, just the act of clicking buy. Now you're not just making purchases anymore. You're chasing micro-rewards. And every time you chase one, the threshold rises slightly. The $7 app next week. The impulse delivery tomorrow. The subscription you forgot about 3 months ago but haven't canceled because canceling requires friction, and the app made cancellation very inconvenient on purpose. Here's the brutal math most people never look at. The average person now carries between 4 and 7 active subscriptions. Many of them are barely used. Individually, they feel negligible, $4.99 here, $12.99 there. Collectively, across a year, they often equal a car payment. But because no single charge hurts enough to trigger that pain response, the brain never sounds the alarm. The leak stays invisible, and invisible leaks don't get fixed, they just keep draining. There's a third layer to this, and it's the one that hits different when you actually see it. Your brain doesn't just respond to the present, it responds to your emotional state right now. And the digital world is extraordinarily good at knowing when you're most vulnerable. Most impulse spending doesn't happen when people are doing well. It happens when they're tired, when they're stressed, when they've had a long day and their decision-making capacity, which is a finite resource, by the way, is running on empty. The 11 p.m. online cart, the lunch delivery because cooking feels impossible, the treat-yourself purchase after a week from hell, these aren't random, they're patterned. Research consistently shows that spending leaks cluster around specific emotional states: exhaustion, boredom, stress, and loneliness. And the platforms built around daily spending, food delivery, fast fashion, entertainment subscriptions, they know this. Their notification systems are tuned to those hours. Their limited time banners appear when your resistance is lowest. Your emotional state is data. Your data is inventory. Your money is the product. So let's flip this around, because knowing the trap is only useful if you also know the way out. And here's the part that might surprise you, because it doesn't require willpower. It doesn't require a complex budget spreadsheet. It doesn't require you to become a different person. It requires you to build friction back in. Remember, your brain needs a speed bump to slow down and think. The digital world removed that speed bump. Your job is to reinstall it strategically in the places that matter most. The first move is the most important one, and almost nobody does it. Remove saved payment methods from your most used shopping apps. Not all of them, just the ones where you spend impulsively. Make your brain re-enter the card number. That 10-second pause, the tiny bit of inconvenience, is enough to activate the prefrontal cortex. The thinking brain wakes up. And half the time when the thinking brain wakes up, it goes, "Wait, do I actually need this?" That's the whole mechanism. You're not building willpower. You're engineering a moment of hesitation that was stolen from you. The second move is a 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases over a certain threshold, yours to define. But for most people, it's somewhere around $30 to $50. Add it to the cart. Leave it there. Come back tomorrow. The dopamine spike that made it feel urgent, gone in hours. What's left is the actual decision, not the emotional hijack. Most of the time, you won't buy it, not because you're more disciplined, because the impulse passed and the thinking brain caught up. The third move is a monthly audit, 15 minutes once a month. Go through your last 30 days of transactions, not to punish yourself, just to see. Most people who do this for the first time find at least 1 or 2 subscriptions they completely forgot about. A streaming service they haven't used in months. A free trial that quietly became a charge. An annual renewal that slipped through in a month where everything else was chaotic. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is visibility, because money you can see, you can manage. Money that moves invisibly through automated systems, frictionless checkouts, and well-timed notifications, that money just disappears, and the cave brain never even notices it's gone. Here's what this adds up to. You are not bad with money. You are a 200,000-year-old survival machine living in an environment specifically engineered to exploit your biology for profit. The daily spending habits that drain you aren't weakness. They're the predictable output of ancient reward systems running software that was never designed for one-click checkout and push notifications. Knowing that doesn't let you off the hook. It just shows you where the hook actually is. Add friction, create delay, make the invisible visible. Your brain built an entire civilization with those instincts. redirecting them toward your own financial survival. That's just the next step in the upgrade. And one more thing, because if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're already doing something most people never do. You're paying attention to where your money actually goes. That awareness, it compounds, just like the leaks do, except this time in your favor. There are patterns in your spending that go even deeper than what we covered today, things wired into how you relate to money emotionally, not just behaviorally. If you want to understand that layer, it's worth looking at. Because the habits we talked about today are the symptoms. What drives them is a different conversation, and it's one that changes everything.